Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Town Square Media and 106.1 KISS FM proudly bring to you your podcast champions of the world. He's the R to the O to the B. I'm STEV. We are your host with the most, bringing you everything wrestling related from post to post.
That's right. I get a rush every time you do that, Steve. Welcome to another episode of Post to Post. Still broadcasting from my home. Still recovering. Still trying my hardest to get back into the typical Post to Post studio. But until then, Steve, thank you for coming out here.
Of course.
Thank you for being on another episode of Post to Post. Okay, so last night, Raw came live from Chicago. I'm assuming you got a chance to see the show by now?
Yes, I've seen it from beginning to end.
All right, let's talk about it.
Right.
We are on that road to WrestleMania, although it almost feels like we're on the road to Roadblock.
Yeah.
You know, Roadblock coming up this weekend, things shaping up. What were your impressions from the show last night? Did you have good vibes, bad vibes in the middle?
I didn't have anything in the middle. It was either really good or really bad. Really good, I feel like WrestleMania is shaping up.
It is coming together here, especially recently.
And then the really bad, the amount of replays I had to watch last night.
That's a constant complaint of mine. I would say the duration of the show still bothers me, especially when, you know, this is the busiest time of year. It's a few weeks before WrestleMania. And yeah, we get like an hour of replays.
Yes.
We watch from the beginning. We're wrestling fans. You know, we see opening segments, you know. I don't want to see them 2 and 3 times during the show, personally. So I agree with you. The opening segment, while it is still, it's refreshing to see Shane. I like seeing him interact with Vince.
Yeah.
I'm not getting that clarity and that anchor that I want in this storyline that I was complaining about last week. Do you have thoughts about that?
Yeah, I don't feel like the story progressed anymore on, like you or anybody that has complaints on these holes in the story. It's kind of just like, we've set this here and now we're just going to bash each other.
Yeah, I feel like it's a Swiss cheese story. There's so many holes in the story that it doesn't make sense. I know I'm talking about pro wrestling. I know I'm not talking about a major motion picture or something that is known for having good writing. Believe me, I understand that. But there's just nothing for me to cling to on this as to why they're having this problem in the first place. Why is Vince upset with Shane? Layla, come here. And what is this mystery that they're not telling us about? I don't feel like we're going to find out. I just feel like Shane's coming back to feud with the family and just deal with it. Yeah. I wish there was more of a reason. It's really not that hard to come up with a reason. Yeah, How many times have the McMahons fought each other?
Exactly. They should come up with a reason and maybe not do the special event this weekend and save that time to come up with stories building to Mania.
So, do you have a problem with the special event this weekend?
I do. I think they should concentrate on building to Mania, and now there's a possibility of Dean Ambrose could win the title and mess up everything for Mania, and then we start from scratch. So I want to see the match. That match should have happened in a main event of Raw. It didn't need to be on a special event. You're
making a good point. While I'm not necessarily opposed to Roadblock, like, we're old school. We come from the time when, you know, there was no special event between the Rumble and WrestleMania where things would change. And now we've got two. I mean, we had Fastlane where things change, and now we have Roadblock, which is so close to WrestleMania that it can change things up. It is hard to kind of invest in the show when you don't know what it is yet. Yeah. But also, it makes me hard to invest in Roadblock when they keep promoting Triple H versus Roman Reigns. Yeah. So I don't think that Dean Ambrose is going to win, although I do think he has an outside chance. Yeah. There's not much else on that show that really speaks to me yet. Mania is shaping up all right, but I don't know enough of the rest of the card to really sink my teeth into it. And also, I know there's another live event, I believe, happening in New Jersey where half the roster is going to be at. So it does feel like kind of a strip show. Did you know that part?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's a live event on the network, and then there's going to be a live event, like a house show in New Jersey. So a lot of the talent's going to be used for that too. So it is kind of an awkward time. But to be honest, I do feel like Ambrose and Triple H could be more than a Raw main event. It's not a WrestleMania main event to me, but, you know, it's something special. And I feel like, you know, once every 4 months or so, or 3 months, they put out these network specials. I'm okay with that. You know, I hope it's 2 hours instead of 3, personally. I don't know how long it's going to be. But, yeah, it's, you know, it is what it is, I guess.
Well, if they're going to do that, they need to, and we could go on. I know we've went on about this. If they're going to do that, they need to get away from the 12 pay-per-views a year. And, you know, maybe dwindle some of them down to the special events.
Well, it's kind of like I feel like it's almost like a network bonus.
Yeah.
12, I'm okay with. I prefer less, although I still wish I liked 6. I felt like it was such a good number.
Yeah, 6 to 8 would be good.
Every other month or so have one of those. So, yeah, I thought the match of the night last night was so well booked from beginning to end. That tag team title match,
Yes.
I loved how, they had Team Y2AJ had at least 2 victories already over the New Day.
Yeah.
And then they go in, so you kind of feel like they can win. And then they had this amazing match, which was so well booked. I just call it like the merry-go-round. Remember when they had, I believe it was Jericho in the corner, and they kept tagging in and out, going in a circle, stomping on...
Oh, the Unicorn Stampede of JBL.
Does that have a name? That was so funny to me. And then they wrap it up with that, Xavier on the trombone. Yeah. I love that. AJ Styles, I still think, is the best part of the show.
Yeah.
When Jericho turned on him, I was genuinely surprised because it was so early in their relationship. Seems like they're building to a Mania match there. I think it's great.
Yeah.
Anything else about you as being a positive, negative, anything?
I like the fact I knew that they were going to do the Triple Threat Divas match at WrestleMania. I'm glad they got to there so they can proceed with that story too.
By the way, I meant to tell you this. If anyone is able to watch last week's Raw, you must watch when Becky Lynch, when they're talking to her about the match on SmackDown that she's about to have. It is so funny watching her react. It's really, really low-level acting. Now, I don't want to come down on her. I know she's great in the ring, and that's where it counts. But it was so goofy watching her react. If you can dig that up, it's funny. It's worth watching.
I think they made a GIF out of it.
Did they?
Yeah.
I haven't seen one.
I think I saw it. If it's her, it's her overreaction to that.
They probably.
And they call it the 7th grade reaction.
So that was cool. And again, I can't think of much else that we missed. But that's what I thought about Raw as we head into not even WrestleMania, as we head into Roadblock. So. Yeah. On Thursday's episode, we may have a bonus episode before then, by the way, because we've got a lot of news to catch up on. But on Thursday's episode, we need to give our predictions for Roadblock.
Okay, hopefully we know what the matches will be.
Yeah, I believe there's at least 4 already on there, and I believe it'll be a shorter show. So yeah, that's what we can expect from Thursday's episode of Post to Post. For myself, the Rob, my tag team partner, Steve.
You're looking at some hard time.